Today, we're going to transform your entire perspective on how to properly work aged insurance leads. Because when you know how to talk to them, how to truly connect, these leads aren't just aged, they're ripe for the picking. We're diving deep into the exact psychology and questioning techniques that make prospects eager to buy from you, not because you're forcing them, but because you've helped them sell themselves. And yes, we're applying every single one of those Jeremy Miner-inspired probing questions straight to your aged insurance lead strategy. Get ready, because after this, your phone is going to ring differently. First off, let's get real about why aged insurance leads are so misunderstood. When someone fills out a form for an insurance quote, whether it was last week or last year, something prompted that action. Pain, fear, a need. They didn't just fill it out for kicks, but then life happens. They got busy, they forgot, they got overwhelmed by calls, or frankly, the last agent they talked to didn't know how to truly connect. That initial spark, that core reason they reached out, it's still there, buried but present. Our mission is to excavate that gold. Now, I bet some of you have had this experience. You get an aged insurance lead on the phone. You launch into your pitch. You talk about policy benefits, competitive rates, how great your company is, and what do you get? Just looking, already covered, not interested, or the classic, let me think about it. It feels like hitting a brick wall, right? That wall is built on a lack of urgency. The biggest mistake agents make is trying to push their solution without first understanding the deep-seated problem. We're going to fix that. We're going to stop selling insurance and start selling solutions to emotional pain. Let's talk about the first, often overlooked, but incredibly powerful probing technique. It's all about listening for the emotional cues. Your aged lead might say something like, yeah, I looked into life insurance last year, but honestly, I was just too stressed with work to deal with it. Now, the old you would ignore stressed and jump straight to, well, our policies are easy to set up. But you've just been handed a golden nugget. That emotional word is your entry point. Probing question number 1. Repeat the emotional word. When you hear an emotional word like stressed, worried, frustrated, concerned, you don't ignore it. You repeat it back, almost as a question, with a tone that conveys genuine concern and a slight bit of confusion, like you're trying to understand more deeply. You, with a slightly confused, concerned tone. Stressed? That's it, just that one word. The magic here is what it does in their subconscious. It triggers them to elaborate, to explain why they were stressed. They'll feel compelled to clarify. This is them starting to relive the pain. Prospect, yes, stressed. I mean, my partner had a medical scare and I just froze. Suddenly thinking about our kids if something happened to me, it just all felt too heavy to deal with at the time. Boom, you just broke through the surface. Don't interrupt, let them talk. They're giving you the core reason they ever looked for insurance in the first place. You didn't force it, you invited it. Now that we know there was a trigger event and they've mentioned a time frame such as last year, we move to our next probe. Probing question number 2. How long has that actually been going on for? You want them to confront the duration of their unresolved pain. For aged leads, this is especially potent because they've been living with this unresolved issue for a while. So that feeling, that worry about protecting your kids, has been with you since your partner's scare last year. How long has that actually been going on for? This concern about their future. Listen carefully to their answer. They might say, oh, it's been on my mind for years, even before that. But that scare just made it so real. Or they may say something like, it's been pretty consistent since the kids were born, honestly. This helps them acknowledge the chronic nature of their concern. They're realizing that this isn't a new problem, it's a persistent one. This leads us to the impact. It's not enough to know the problem and its duration. We need them to feel its weight. Probing question number 3. Has that had an impact on you? In what way? So this concern has been with you for years now. Has that had an impact on you? How has that shown up in your life? Again, your tone is key here. Empathetic, gentle, but firm in its inquiry. If they give a vague answer, you gently push for more. Prospect. Yeah, it's just always there. Always there. In what way, though? What does it feel like to always have that on your mind? You're inviting them to articulate the specific ways this unresolved issue affects their daily life. Is it sleepless nights, constant background anxiety, a feeling of being unprepared? This helps them connect the dots between the abstract need for insurance and the concrete emotional burden in their life. Now, we're not just intellectualizing, we're getting to the core emotional drivers Miner talks about. He emphasizes getting the prospect to articulate what the pain is doing to them. Probing question number 4. What's that doing to you? What happens when that happens? This question helps them connect the pain to the emotional state it creates. You. When you think about your kid's future and that deep-seated worry comes up, what's that doing to you right now? What happens inside when that thought occurs? This will often elicit a very raw emotional response. They might talk about feeling overwhelmed, stressed, guilty, or scared. This is crucial territory. They are reliving the pain, allowing their emotions to surface. They are effectively painting a picture of their internal struggle, and you are simply holding the brush. The more they articulate the emotional toll, the more real and urgent the problem becomes in their own mind. You're not telling them they should be worried. You're letting them tell themselves how worried they are. This is self-persuasion in action. Next, we want to anchor this emotional state to tangible events. Probing question number 5. Can you give me a specific example of when that happened? This is about moving from the general emotional state to a concrete memory. You. Can you give me a specific example when that feeling, that worry, or that stress most recently happened to you? Like a specific moment where it really hit you? For an insurance lead, this could be anything. A friend getting sick, a family member passing, a news story about a tragic accident, a sudden job loss, or even just sitting down to do their budget and realizing a huge gap in their protection. They are now narrating their own pain, making it undeniably real for them. Prospect. Just last month, my cousin was in a bad car accident. He's okay now, thankfully, but seeing his family struggle to pay medical bills while he was out of work, it just made me sick to my stomach thinking about it for my own family. You're getting specific, vivid examples of pain, and now you can explore how that specific example impacted them personally and their situation in general. This leads to the next layer of probing. Probing question number 6. How does that affect your company, you personally? While it seems similar to number 3, this question is asked after a specific example, drilling down on the impact of that exact event, you. So, seeing your cousin's family struggle financially and imagining that happening to your own, how does that affect you personally when you think about it? How does that impact your peace of mind or your daily life? This brings the pain into their immediate personal sphere. It's not just a theoretical risk anymore. It's a living, breathing concern that has concrete effects on their quality of life. For aged leads, this can be incredibly powerful because it connects a past, ignored problem to present anxieties. They've been carrying this burden, perhaps subconsciously, for a long time. You're simply bringing it to the forefront. By this point, your aged lead has probably shared more with you than they have with any other agent, possibly even more than with friends or family, because you've created a safe space for them to explore their own fears and vulnerabilities. They feel understood, and when people feel understood, they open up. And now for the final game-changing question that locks in the urgency. This is the moment where they transition from acknowledging the pain to committing to a solution. Probing question 7. Why is this so important to you now, though? This is the ultimate self-persuasion question. You've helped them explore their past pain, its duration, its impact, and specific instances. Now, you're bringing them to the present moment for a decision. You. So, we've talked about how long this has been a concern, the impact it's had, and specific moments where it hit you. Given all of that, why is getting this sorted out so important to you now, though? Why today? Notice the crucial verbal pause before the word now. That pause makes them focus intensely on the present moment. It makes them articulate their own reasons for immediate action. For an aged insurance lead, this is gold. They might say, well, my retirement is coming up, and I can't afford to leave my family exposed. My kids are heading to college, and I realize how much they depend on me. After that scare with my partner, I just can't live with this uncertainty anymore. I need peace of mind. These are their reasons, not your sales pitch. And because they are self-generated, they are immensely powerful and lead to true urgency. They are persuading themselves your role has been to facilitate that internal dialogue. You haven't pushed, you've guided. When they express why now, you've got them. You've moved them from a cold, aged lead to a hot prospect who is ready and eager to solve their problem. You don't need to close them in the traditional sense, they're already there. You simply help them take the necessary steps to get the solution they just persuaded themselves they desperately need. This isn't just about selling policies. It's about helping people gain peace of mind, protect their loved ones, and secure their future. And with aged leads, it's about helping them finalize something they already know they need, but just needed the right guide, you, to help them realize it. So ditch the old script, start listening, start probing, and start helping your prospects persuade themselves. Because when you do, those dead ends turn into your most profitable relationships. If you want to get your hands on the highest quality aged insurance leads that are perfect for applying these very strategies that we covered in this video, be sure to visit the Stellar Prospects website. Also, if you're ready to stop pushing and start transforming your insurance leads into golden opportunities, hit that subscribe button. In upcoming videos, we'll be diving deeper into other strategies and ways to increase your insurance sales. In the meantime, keep finding those problems, keep solving them, and I'll see you in the next video.